Another unbelievable third quarter from Stephanie White coming out. Once again, I will never back off of this. If you come out flat in the third quarter, if you give up leads in the third quarter, I'm going to question you as a coach. They come back out. They apply those adjustments. The coach that is winning the game needs to be prepared to be able to make an adjustment to their adjustment. Because what is it are you doing at halftime? It's clear. What happens is the team that's down goes in, they make adjustments at halftime.
6 Indiana Fever players are out, Caitlin Clark included, and somehow Lexie Hull just dropped the best game of her career. How is that even possible? Tonight wasn't about who was missing, it was about who refused to back down.
I gotta tell you, guys, this has not been updated as of yet, but this is the playoff standings. And there's the Indiana Fever in 6th, but I can tell you right now, in the loss column. By the way, I don't know when the Valkyries play again. Maybe tonight, actually. Maybe later tonight, or right now. But when the Valkyries win, they've got tiebreakers because I think they've beaten the Fever. They just added and made this their 17th loss. So they are now, at minimum, tied with the Valkyries in the loss column. Okay?
Hull didn't just fill in. She turned herself into an offensive engine Indiana desperately needed. The real question, how does a role player under insane pressure suddenly flip the script and start carrying the team like a star? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video.
Both times they've played them. Both times. So, things that didn't go well. Number one, Lexie Hull, she burned it up. And they were only leading by, I don't know, it was like 8 or 9 or something like that. And I'm like, this lead is not nearly big enough in the first half. She really did. And I said this in the chat tonight. I said, this is a problem, folks. The Fever hit 10 3-pointers, I believe it was, in the first half.
Imagine trying to win a professional basketball game when 6 of your key players are gone. Not just bench players, but starters, rotation guards, and the rookie phenom everyone came to watch. Caitlin Clark sidelined, Celeste Cunningham out, Grace Colson not available, Ari McDonald missing, Bibby still hurt, Odyssey Sims also out. That's half the team right there. Stripped away in street clothes, the Fever walked into this matchup with holes everywhere, and there was no chance of hiding it. You could see the empty seats on the bench before the ball even tipped, and right away you wondered, how are they supposed to survive against a Minnesota team that usually buries opponents in the third quarter? Now think about what that means for the rotation. The point guards that were left are still learning the system. Some players weren't even supposed to log heavy minutes this early in the season. The usual spark from Clark's playmaking? Gone. The balance from experienced guards like McDonald or Sims? Not available. Even the shooters who normally stretch the floor and relieve pressure weren't dressed to play.
And you're not going to stay hot like that for the rest of the game. It's not going to happen. So, and sure enough, when they came out in the third quarter, and it's the same. Every loss is the same. Blow your lead in the third quarter. It's crazy. It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. The Lynx obviously did things that would counter those 3-pointers, and the Fever never had an answer. They didn't have an answer.
That left Indiana with almost no safety net and little depth to fall back on. Every substitution looked like plugging one problem only to expose another. And when you're facing Minnesota, a team that thrives on runs, that's terrifying. They've crushed teams before with a 10-point swing in just a few possessions. You know the Fever staff was holding their breath, hoping it wouldn't spiral out of control. That's where Lexie Hull stepped in, and this time she didn't have the luxury of hiding in the background. Usually her role is clear: space the floor, defend, knock down a corner 3 now and then. But with most of the scoring options gone, that role didn't exist anymore. From the opening minutes, it was obvious she had a different look in her eyes. She wasn't waiting in the corner, she was attacking gaps, flashing to the ball, and making choices on the fly.
Aaliyah Boston, 7 of 9, 15 points. It looks like she showed up. If you watched her during this game, defense was terrible. She did not play a great game. I'm sorry. I know the statistics look good. Why has Michaela Timpson only got 2 minutes and 31 seconds in this ball game? Now, I would love to know. She is the most athletic player on this team. Kelsey, 9 of 20, 27 points. Lexie Hull. I mean, you can't ask for any more points than 23 points from Lexie Hull. Speaking of adjustments that didn't happen.
She even said herself afterward, she was reading whatever the defense was giving. Simple words, but in the WNBA that requires split-second decisions against defenders who scout every move. That's not the same as just standing there waiting for a pass. It's actively controlling possessions. And here's the shocker. Instead of the hesitant shooter fans were used to, Hull went after her shots like she was the primary scorer. 16 times she let it fly. She connected on 9 of them, drained 4 from deep, and ended the night with 23 points. The most she's ever scored, 23. From a player most opponents don't even game plan around. Every time Minnesota pushed, Hull answered. A pull-up jumper here, a catch-and-shoot 3 there, even driving inside when the defense closed out too fast. Those are plays that require confidence, and she refused to back down. Afterward, Coach White's reaction said it all. He pointed out that this was the first time he actually saw her hunt shots, not just take them when they came her way, but actively pursue them, like a veteran who knows the team is leaning on her shoulders that night. The trying circumstances forced her to change. Instead of being labeled a role player, she looked like someone demanding the ball. And the wild part is that it didn't just help the team on the scoreboard. It transformed how her teammates viewed her in real time. They fed her, trusted her, and let her carry stretches of the game where previously she might have been invisible. This is where you realize the story wasn't about survival anymore. A player long considered a complimentary piece suddenly became the headline. In a rotation gutted by injuries, she didn't just fill space, she owned it. Hull carried the minutes like she belonged in that spotlight all along. And for the first time, you could imagine her being more important than just a floor spacer. And the Fever desperately needed that lift, because Hull wasn't the only one asked to overperform. Kelsey Mitchell had to handle huge responsibilities of her own, while fresh faces and new signings were thrown straight into heavy action the minute they checked in. This night turned into a test of who could stretch their game far beyond comfort just to keep Indiana's season from sinking. This wasn't just one good game from Lexie Hull. The way she played showed a blueprint for how Indiana can survive, while Caitlin Clark and the others sit out. She wasn't waiting for chances anymore. She created them. And that's the kind of aggression the Fever badly need with so many players missing. Now it's your turn. Do you see this as a one-time spark, or is Hull about to become a real X factor for Indiana? Every game matters now. Playoff spots are slipping fast, and Hull's rise might be the spark keeping the season alive.